Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Shrey FC. I'm so happy to be back, and again, before starting, please do hit the like button and please subscribe if you haven't. It really means a lot. So do hit the likes and do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And overall, today I'm going to discuss on Chelsea talks. A lot of Chelsea news really going on, guys. A lot of big Chelsea news, from Mason Mount to Kai Havertz to Frank Keese getting linked to Chelsea, to Lavia to Christian Pulisic, Mendy. So many players have already left the club. It's been a total clear out by Chelsea this summer. I'm going to discuss on Arsenal signing Declan Rice, Arsenal getting Kai Havertz, and what it means for them as a rivals, to see how Arsenal can do this season. Is Rice and Havertz enough for them to mount a Premier League challenge in Manchester City? And a lot more I'll discuss on this video. So do hit the likes and please subscribe if you haven't. And most important, please participate in the comment section and do let me know your opinion in regards to the transfer talks and what's really going on and what could really happen. So coming on to the first news today to be discussed on, and the first news is about AC Milan, and this is regarding again Kai Havertz. So AC Milan have been interested in a lot of Chelsea players. Ruben Loftus-Cheek is on the verge of signing for AC Milan. They're interested in Pulisic, interested in a lot of players, and AC Milan, Fulham, and Nottingham Forest, who have been linked to Hudson-Odoi since like May. So these clubs are interested in Hudson-Odoi, who plans to reject Saudi Arabia move. But again, Callum Hudson-Odoi is keeping his options open. If he gets a very good wages or a very good option, he might choose Saudi Arabia. But right now, he still wants to stay in the Premier League, and Chelsea could sell for around 15 million. Now, overall, in this deal, I think it will be a great deal for Chelsea to get 15 million out of a player who we don't know what potential is, where he can reach, and he's a youth player, so it's more like a profit on the book. I'm very sad to where Hudson-Odoi has reached. He was a player with massive potential. Like, if there's a player with massive potential, that is Callum Hudson-Odoi. And big up, absolutely big up, mate. Thank you to join. And Mount is looking like very likely to be Red Devil. He will join Manchester United, but it's just about will Manchester United pay the money Chelsea want or not, or how much the deal can drag on. Chelsea pre-season is starting on Monday, so I think we might see an announcement of Mason Mount joining Manchester United. But overall, on Callum Hudson-Odoi is very close to going out of Chelsea this season. There's no chance for me until Pochettino does a masterclass to try to use him in the preseason. And this is why he will be going to a club. And 15 million for a youth player is like a profit on the book. So I think this is a fantastic deal for Chelsea. But on my humble opinion, just personal opinion, I'm very sad it's reached to this situation. He was a very talented player, came out of Chelsea Academy. He was blistering pace. He had such good dribbles. And after the ACL injury, his career has just stagnated. I really love him. Oh my God. Really, bro, really sorry. I was live, so I was not able to check. But it looks like Mason Mount might be joining Manchester United, guys. I'll just check. But Mason Mount, it looks like he's joining Manchester United. Thank you for the update, bro. And it really looks like now the deal is done. And it was already done, to be honest. We all knew it was going to happen, but we all were just waiting for confirmation. And it looks like now Mason Mount is going to Manchester United. And I'll just check the news and I'll share with you all guys as well. So do stay tuned. And Mason Mount is going to Manchester United. It very likely looks like. So I'll just get the update if I can get it out here. And more details. And that's done, guys. Mason Mount is joining Manchester United. I'll just share if I can. I'll just share the screen, people, for all the guys. This is the news regarding Mason Mount. And I already told you it was going to be fixed. We all knew the deal was going to be fixed for a massive time now. And it's already done. More details awaited, has Fabrizio puts here. And I'm just going to share the screen. Just give me a second, people. I'm just going to share the screen on the detail. And this is the screen. And I think you'll see on the screen, people. You will see on the screen right now. And this is regarding the Mason Mount. Is here we go now. And it's 55 million plus 5 add-ons. I've been saying for a long time on this channel that he will be leaving Chelsea, and Chelsea is just fighting for extra 5-6 million, which United will eventually agree. And now Mason Mount is officially a Red Devil. So congrats to Ayush Bhai, a Manchester United fan, and congrats to you, brother, as well. Bang shots. Congrats to you as well. I think you are getting a very good player, to be really honest. It's no bias. I'm not going to be really bitter. I think you're getting a very good player. But for me, it will be interesting to see where Erik ten Hag really uses him. That is the only thing I have a bit doubt on. Other than that, he's a fantastic signing. He's a very versatile player who can play left wing, right wing. He can really shoot well in front of goal. He can score a lot of goals. He can assist as well. and he has got great pressing ability in him to be all around the pitch, pressing and making that final pressing runs which Ten Hag really wants. Eriksen does not bring that, to be honest. Eriksen is still very lethargic, very slow in that terms, and Mason Mount will just bring that. But my only concern regarding this news, the only concern is Mason Mount, to be really honest. He cannot fit in with Bruno and Casemiro to be in the midfield. You cannot have Casemiro and Brandon Bruno. That's going to be a disaster in transitions. So where does Mason Mount start in the United team? That is the only question I have. But overall, he's a versatile player. He can even give Rashford a rest and play in left wing. He can especially play in the right wing where Anthony has not been clinical and Sancho has been disappointing. He can even replace Bruno Fernandes if he's injured or tired. And he can also play instead of Eriksen. But then Casemiro will have to take massive responsibility. So guys, this is regarding Mason Mount. Is officially a here we go. Mason Mount is joining Manchester United for 55 million plus 5 add-ons. Massive update by Fabrizio. Thank you, Mason. We'll always love you in terms of what you provided us, but also a player that we can really move on from. So thank you to Mason for services to Chelsea, but a player we can easily move on from. And especially the Mason Mount saga is officially over. And I can take a really big sigh of relief because it was a disaster. From Chelsea PR team putting some articles, from Manchester United PR team putting some articles, from Mason Mount particular families and everyone putting PRs. So it was a total disaster. And now I'm happy, to be really honest, it's over. Either he was going to stay, but if he was going to stay at Chelsea, he was going to leave for free at the season. And Mount will play in the place of Eriksen. Yeah, even I think that. But for me, bang shots, the only problem I have is that in transitions, you can be in danger. That was my only concern with Eriksen as well. So that is a bit of concern I have. But I think Mason Mount is going to be way better than Eriksen in Ten Hag's system. And you've got a very good player for you in 55 million. And Mickey Mouse outre by party kab chahiye bolo. Absolutely, bro. I think we are having party right now. Kai Havertz is leaving Chelsea. Mount is leaving. But overall, really honest, I think Mason has really played well for Chelsea. We have won the Champions League together. He has been a very important player in 2-3 years. He has been better than Kai Havertz for Chelsea. He has been one of the most consistent players. So all the respect for Mason and wish him the best. But also Mason is not a player who Chelsea cannot move forward from. And now we can get Caicedo, Vega, a goalkeeper and a proper striker. Very good point, mate. Very, very good point, Aniruddha. Very good point. I think by getting Mason Mount sale on the line, I think our sales have gone around 250 million. I'm not sure. 200 to 250 million are the Chelsea sales. And I think this is a very, very good news. Our Chelsea sales right now are at a very, very good level. We have literally raised 220 million this summer. And I think we can really spend it wisely. Caicedo, Vega, and Nkunku has already come who can play in number 10. We have young guys like Chukwuemeka, Caicedo, Andres Santos. So the future is not a concern. Thank you, Mason. Thank you for the services. But also a player we can easily move on from. And Chelsea will sign player now. They clear the deadwood. Yeah. I think we needed to sell our players to balance the book by June 30. It's already been done. I think Caicedo announcement, guys, is coming by July 1. I'm really getting a feeling that Chelsea will announce Caicedo on July 1. And the preseason is starting on Monday. So Caicedo can be there for the announcement. And I think now the outgoings are over. It's just Aubameyang left and Pulisic left. But overall, everyone has left. Ziyech, Koulibaly, Mendy, Kovacic, Havertz, Mount. Mostly big name players have left Chelsea. Kante. So many players have left Chelsea. And now it's just about getting rid of Pulisic and Aubameyang. And I think Chelsea's clear out is done. And now you are going to see Chelsea try to sign a lot of players, minimum to minimum 4 or 5. And I think it's going to be very interesting. So again, on the last message, thank you, Mason Mount. Really thank you for the Champions League assist. Really thank you for the 2-3 years you have been here. I really respect. And one of the rare youth players to make it at Chelsea. So well done, Mason. And best of luck. But also a player we can easily move on from. And there are so many players who can play the Mount position in the market. He's not an Eden Hazard. He's a good player who can do well at Manchester United. Thank you, Mason. We'll always respect you. But now it's time to move on. And taking a bit of chance now. Bigger Baga, bro. And congrats for Havertz and Rice. Really, Rice is fantastic addition, bhai. And you're getting a fantastic player. And 200 million pound sales. I think it's around figure for 200 million, bro. I really think it's a round figure for 200. But I think that's massive. And I think people are not counting. But we have cleared some massive wages. And Aubameyang, Pulisic, and Lukaku. I think Lukaku is going to drag. Lukaku is going to drag. And final Mason Mount leaves it for your club, Chelsea. Yeah, and Shrey bhai, your thoughts on Poch getting abused already for getting Jackson and not getting involved in the window. This is a problem with Chelsea fans, Drain, bro. We just don't have patience. And I think we need to back Pochettino, or we can be left many years behind Arsenal, Manchester City, United. It's time for us to back Pochettino. We literally, Drain, bhai, have an under 25 lineup. If we don't even back Pochettino, what are the fans really going to do, to be honest? Where are Chelsea going to go? And you got time for people to come on today. We'll love to come chat. Yeah, absolutely, bro. I would have loved to have you on. Really sorry right now. Right now, I'm not really on Instagram right now. So today won't be possible. Vaga, bro, I really will have you on. Really, really sorry, mate, to be really, really honest. Like, if I was aware before, I would have 100% set up the link and send you. So really, really sorry for that, bro. But absolutely love to chat, and really, really positive, bro. And if you want ever to come chat with me, bro, please do follow me on Twitter at the rate 765. I'm very active on Twitter, and Twitter is a platform where I'm more active in comparison to Instagram. And here we go. Yeah, Blue Stance, here we go. Thank you, brother, really. And do follow me on Twitter, bro. It's going to be great chatting with you, bro. Really great. And Manchester United had new direct talks over the signing of Andre Onana. My God. I want Onana, man. Ayush, bro, you are really getting good players. Like, Mount is going to be the versatile player. Onana is going to be a better goalkeeper than David De Gea any day of the week. And I think we need Onana. I think Chelsea need Onana. But I think it's just not looking possible right now for Chelsea to get Onana, man. But Onana is a player I really want. I really love Onana. And I think Onana is going to be the goalkeeper I need. People, please do hit the like button and please subscribe if you haven't. And we are going to chat Arsenal as well later in the video. So please do stay tuned in. And coming on to, over 100 million we have saved in wages. Koulibaly, 300k was wages. We have saved 250k of Havertz. So I think Chelsea have really got rid of some massive wages on the books. And coming on to the next Shrey bhai, I don't know why I'm feeling happy Mason left. I won't say rotten apple, bro. He has overall, when he has played for Chelsea, he has been professional. But right now, he would have been a rotten apple if we did not allow him to get his move. So I think it's good for both parties. And so title challenge upcoming, no. Baga, bro, is going to be very difficult, Baga, bro. Like, to adjust so many players, bro, is going to be really difficult. Like, on one hand, see, I want to be really honest. When you spend 700, 800, 900 million, like Chelsea have done in 2 seasons, you should be challenging for title. There has to be pressure for challenging for titles. We are one of the bigger clubs. We have spent 900 million in 2 seasons. So I think there has to be a pressure. But on the other hand, under 25 squad, new manager, we have to fit them as well. It's going to be really, really difficult. And congrats to both United Chelsea. Thank you, Kesha, bro. And big up Kesha in the chat. So good to see you, brother. And Shiva, I'm feeling scared for Caicedo deal. I don't know why I see... No, bro. I was scared of Manchester United, bro. I was really scared of Manchester United, bro. But because we have taken 55 million out of them and they have still not generated any sales, I don't think we need to be really scared, to be honest, bro. And I think, to be really honest, bro, Caicedo is coming to Chelsea. Is going to take something incredible for that to not happen. If we lose Xhaka and Partey, our chemistry, I think really, really honest. I think Arsenal need to keep at least one of these guys, and I think they are really secure for the title race again. I think Rice, Partey, or Xhaka and Jorginho is going to be a fantastic midfield options. But I think if you let both Partey and Xhaka go, then you have to sign a Lavia, then you have to sign one more midfielder, and Arsenal will have to sign more players, to be really honest. And Chelsea, I do understand Enzo and Caicedo can be a good player, Bhaga, bro. But right now, we still have no other midfielders to play DM. So that could be a problem. At the moment, Chelsea, Arsenal, United, Liverpool should be in top 4. I do agree with that, bro. I really do agree with that one. But I think Newcastle are doing some solid business, Bhaga, bro. They are really doing some solid business. They still have goal scorers, which Chelsea have not got. Callum Wilson scores 15-20 a season. Isak scores 15-20 a season. So they have their goal scorers. Chelsea just don't have anyone that can guarantee you even 10 goals a season. So I think that's going to be a massive concern, Bhaga, bro. And as currently things stands, we are getting Onana. If not Onana for CFC, you can go for Costa. But Costa is more expensive. Costa Ayush Bhai is more expensive than Onana. And I really like both goalkeepers. But I don't know why I prefer Onana more. Might be because of Champions League final, but I really want Onana more. And Partey is preferring to stay. Xhaka, I think you have to keep Partey. Being very honest, I think Partey, Rice, Jorginho can be a good midfield to have. Jorginho in the Champions League matches with Partey or a Rice. Partey, Rice in the Premier League matches with Havertz or Odegaard playing number 10. I think Arsenal will be really dangerous next season. And Shrey Caicedo and Kise, these two will take it rather in Chelsea, or you'll take Lavia or Nana. On this, bro, to be honest, I will. This is a tough one. This is a tough one. I'll take Caicedo and Kise. I know goalkeeper is a problem therein, bro, but I think we have no midfielders right now. And I'll discuss it later in the video on Kise part, that why I will love Kise in a team with Caicedo and why it could be massive. And Shrey okay, I've taken this question. Big up to Gurushan Singh Sangha people. He's got a channel just post, so you can go there and subscribe. Good for United. Actually, now they have good core and dependable non-injury players. Between Chelsea ko Mount retain karna tha. But bro, Gushan bro, the problem is, I do understand your point, but we cannot keep a player that doesn't want to stay here, and you're getting 55 million for him. He doesn't want to extend the contract. He wants 250k wages. I think, to be really honest, we had to let him go. And Chelsea is keeping choice with Maignan, but he's going to cost 75 to 90 million, bro. He is going to cost 75 to 90 million, and AC Milan won't let him go. We will see. Partey has some behind the issues, supposedly. Xhaka is set on going. It's a mess on that issue. I do agree with that one, bro. And I think if both of them leave and you sign Lavia, I think it's still a fantastic midfield, to be honest. Rice, Lavia, Jorginho. But I think Lavia is just too young right now, and that's where the pressure is for me. And going on to the next news now, Drain Ball, take the chat later. Coming on to the next news now. And this is Chelsea have agreed a 15 million fee with AC Milan for Loftus Cheek. And people, Loftus Cheek right now is in Milan. He's having his medical. So Ruben Loftus-Cheek has left Chelsea. He's joining AC Milan for another 15 million that's been added in Chelsea's bank. So we are getting money after money after money for our players. And Ruben is left. And Ruben is more like a profit on the books because he's a youth player. So first of all, I think it's a good deal for both parties. Ruben needs more game playing time. Italian Serie A will be fantastic for him. And for Chelsea, we don't have chance to play him. We have Andre Santos, a young guy. Chukwuemeka, a young guy. Caicedo, a young guy. We have to develop these guys. So I think it was good for both parties to just part ways. But it's made me emotional because I love Loftus-Cheek. He's the first youth player of Chelsea. I really wanted to make it at Chelsea. I loved him. I wanted him to make it Chelsea. Even when Conte won the league, I was furious at Conte for sending him on loan. I wanted him to be given chance. And I love Ruben. He is a guy who loves Chelsea. He's a guy who bleeds Chelsea. He's a guy who bleeds blue and he loves this club. This guy, with all the trouble and everything, always wanted to make it at Chelsea. And in the Sarri season, in the 2018 and 2019 season, under Maurizio Sarri in a number 8 position, he was playing spectacularly, whether dribbling with the ball, whether carrying the ball, whether scoring goals, whether assisting goals, from the goal against Frankfurt, from the goal against Brighton, from goal against Fulham. There were so many important goals. The hat-trick he scored in the Europa League. Loftus-Cheek was epic. And the damn friendly I will never forgive for Chelsea the way they handled it. And this guy got a serious injury from which he has never been able to come back. He now looks a bit more comeback, but I think it's just too late. Thank you, Ruben, and every Chelsea fan loves you, bro. Every Chelsea fan loves you. And before going to the next news, I'll take some chats more. And straight away, we have run injury away or match ban away from playing the worst goalkeeper in the championship history. I think I do understand that, but I think we also have Slonina Derin, bro. So if Kepa is not performing well, why not bring the young guy? And Derin, bro, I know Kepa is a problem, but I think only having Enzo as a midfield option with Caicedo is dangerous, bro. It's really dangerous, bro. And Martin Odegaard to Chelsea doesn't make sense. It's never going to happen, bro. It's never going to happen. Odegaard will not leave Arsenal. They're at top of the pile. He's not going to leave Arsenal. And Shrey Enzo Caicedo in a pivot. Where do you see Gabriel Vega? I think Gabriel Vega is going to be number 10, bro. I think he's going to be more like competing with Nkunku for the number 10 position. Or sometimes Pochettino playing 4-3-3. So he might be the more offensive midfielder. But I think right now, Derin, bro, even City want Gabriel Vega. Liverpool are somewhat interested in Gabriel Vega. So it's going to be a very big battle to get this young guy at Stamford Bridge. And underrated pick of goalkeepers for us will be Unai Simon. Can be perfect and will be available for 30-40 million. Fully agree with that one, mate. I even will say Keylor Navas. I think I love to have Keylor Navas at a low fee and experience. But to be really honest, when we have Kepa at 200k wages, we cannot have two goalkeepers at 250k wages. So I think that's where Chelsea will have to keep Kepa. And that's the way I think we have to go. Loftus Cheek, unpopular opinion, he was the most standard player from the academy before injury. I do agree with that one somewhat in, bro. But I think nobody matches to Reece James, bro. Nobody matches to Reece James, bro. I'm really sorry for that. But I think Reece James is the pioneer of Chelsea Academy talent. I don't think anyone therein, bro, can match Reece James. Reece James is at a different level altogether. So I think he's just at a level above anyone. And I think he's at a fantastic level therein, bro. And going on to the next one now, that is Arsenal have agreed a fee with West Ham United to sign Declan Rice. Arsenal Football Club have made 100 million plus 5 million add-ons offer for 24-year-old England midfielder last night, and that has been accepted. The call for British player clubs now waiting to resolve the payment issue. So I think it's on-sign dagger. We all know whenever on-sign makes up a particular news, it's mostly true. It's very rare that is news and not true. It's very, very rare is news and not true. So I think we all know on-sign thing has come out. And now Rice is having his medical at Arsenal. And Rice and Havertz are the new Arsenal players. I think this is a stupendous signing. This is an absolutely stupendous signing. I know people are saying, I understand Keisha bro. I understand Keisha bro that you've overpaid. But I think this is what people are getting a bit frustrated with. Arsenal have overpaid. Nobody can take that away. But for top quality players in current market, you have to overpay. We need to be really, really honest with ourselves. Caicedo is going for 90 million where he's just proved himself for 1 year. Rice has been in the Premier League for 3-4 years. He has been the leader of West Ham for 3 or 4 years. He has consistently performed. He still has 2 years left on his contract. And he's a player that fits Arsenal like a glue, makes them a much better team. Like it or not, right now he's better than Partey, he's better than Xhaka. He's like top 5 midfielder in the league. So I think you have to overpay. Whether we like it, whether we don't like it, you have to overpay for a player of this quality. When no disrespect, I love Conor Gallagher as a Chelsea player. But when Conor Gallagher is demanding to be sold for 50-60 million, Mount is going for 60, Havertz is going for 70, I think Rice will go for this money. It's overpayment. I fully agree, Keisha bro. It's an overpayment. But Keisha bro, that's the way today's world has become. You have to overpay. For world-class players like Kylian Mbappe, they'll go for 200-250 million. That's the reality of the market. Or if you sign them for really low money, you will have to pay some absolutely massive wages. Absolutely massive wages. So I think this is a concern, bro. Being very, very honest with you. So, yes, you have overpaid, but you have to overpay. That is the way today's time goes. The transfer fee and everything. For West Ham, the value of the player, the Premier League tax, and especially a consistent Premier League player, you have to pay this money. And I think people might doubt money, but to be really honest, what he provides Arsenal is more than money. He's going to fit the team like a glue. He can play as a centre-back. He can play as a DM. He can play as a midfielder playing more offensively. He can play the Xhaka role. He can play the Partey role. He can play the lone DM role. He can play the centre-back role. He can play from the back. He has got leadership quality. Is really, really injured and a very consistent player, putting every time at least a 7 out of 10 performance. And I think Arsenal have got themselves a top quality midfielder. And if they can keep a player like Thomas Partey, if they can keep a player like Xhaka, then you have Jorginho. Rice is the perfect player to get the best out of Jorginho for some matches. And I think this is a fantastic signing which elevates Arsenal. I think they've got a top quality player who will perform consistently, bring some leadership, and a very young player as well in another young group. I think Declan Rice is a top signing. They have overpaid, but you have to overpay for players of this quality. And that brings me to the next news now. And the next news is regarding Blue Co are looking for new Strasbourg manager, and board members at Strasbourg have met with Arsenal legend and former Crystal Palace coach Patrick Vieira. This is regarding Chelsea's another club, a multi-club model with Strasbourg in League One. And people, this is so exciting. With David Fofana linked to go on loan, our new signing Angelo linked to go on loan, I think we are going to use Strasbourg in a good way, where Strasbourg will grow. Todd Boli will spend some money in Strasbourg as well. And the most important thing, people, the most important thing is we can send a lot of our loan players, talented young guys to develop there and make a final judgments and increase their price. And I think people, being very honest, I think Strasbourg appointing Patrick Vieira is fantastic for us. Patrick Vieira, yes, it failed at Palace in the end, but Patrick Vieira overall is a very good coach for these youngsters, a role model, an experienced player, and a person who wants to play a good brand of football. And I think this is a good news for Chelsea, and a lot of our players can develop. Chelsea have been more mature in the transfer market this season compared to last season. Rollercoaster, fully agreed, bro. And this is why I think we have to have some sympathy for Todd Boehly. Last season, takeover, disaster, getting appointed as owners of Chelsea in June when the season is starting in 5 or 6 weeks was always a disaster. Now, Todd Boehly has a team of Vivell, Stanley, Stewart, and they've left all the footballing work to those people. So it's become much more mature, much more easier, much more structured. So I think at some point, Todd Boehly was going to work in this way. And Chelsea right now are working in a very structured and a very good way. And this brings me to the next news now. And that is Mateo Kovacic has joined Manchester United on a permanent deal. We have known this for some time now that Mateo Kovacic has left Chelsea. We have known this for some time. And see, I will not say much. I will only say one thing. I respect Mateo for the time he's at Chelsea. I really respect him. When he was a player who was really criticized for the fans, fans were really angry at him. I used to say that give him time, he's a good player, and I'll maintain on my word. He is a very good player on his day. The way he carries the ball, the way he drives with the ball, he is a fantastic player to have in a team. And I think in Manchester City team where he doesn't have to be a starter, he doesn't have to be a leader, I think he can do a fantastic job in Pep Guardiola's system. And I think he's going to be a fantastic player for Manchester City Football Club. But I think many Chelsea fans have been angry. They've let him go. Many Chelsea fans have said that we should have kept him. I'm really sorry, but I have to disagree with you respectfully because I think we made the right decision. I think Mateo Kovacic, the way he ended the campaign was offensive to us. The way he played in the last 6 months like he never cared was bad. It always looked like he never wanted to be at Chelsea in the last season with everything going on. He never wanted to be here. So thank you, Mateo. He's a good player. But again and again, I will say, we won the Champions League because of Jorginho Kante. Kovacic is a very good player, but Kovacic is not a player you cannot move on from. He's a good ball carrier. He's a good dribbler. He's a very good midfielder on the eye. But Enzo, your Caicedos, your Kantes are much better than Kovacic. And I think overall, if we can sign Enzo, Caicedo, Franquise, I think we are good to move on from Mateo Kovacic. So thank you, Kova. We'll always love you overall and wish you the best in Manchester City. But we move on and we move on to some other players and a good time for new Chelsea era ahead. Coming on to this one, Edouard Mendy has left Chelsea and joined Al Ahly FC. And this is a player I'll always love, the story and everything. I think this guy at one point was thinking to leave football. And now this guy has won the Champions League, has won the Club World Cup, and has been so instrumental in winning the AFCON as well. What a top professional, what a top player. I knew it was Peter Cech recommended signing. People were a bit bemused why we signed him. And he was one of the best keepers we have signed in last some years. And that says something. From Kepa, since Thibaut Courtois, we haven't had one good goalkeeper. And Edouard Mendy was one of them. This guy was so good at his best. He was a very, very good shot stopper. Who can forget the save he made from Sadio Mane, where he saved the shot? Sadio Mane was 2 yards away from him and he still made the save. Who can forget the save he made against Karim Benzema in the Champions League semi-final, where Real Madrid could have been 1-0 up against Chelsea and then nobody knows who will win the Champions League? Who can forget it? What a guy, what a professional. And at least for 1.5 to 2 years at Chelsea, he was a fantastic player, a fantastic professional. And I will always have love for him. But sadly, since in Real Madrid game at Stamford Bridge where he made so many errors, he has not been at his best. It's only been declined. And now, I think it's better for both parties to leave. Best of luck to him at Al Ahly. He's still a goalkeeper who is not good with his feet, which is unacceptable in today's market where you need goalkeeper who is good with saving, good with his feet. So I think that is why we had to part ways. And because he wanted more wages and we cannot have two keepers at 200k, I think we had to sell Mendy. But Mendy is one of the players where I'm very emotional and overall will always respect him. There's not even 1% bitterness against Edouard Mendy. He was such a good player for us. Thank you, Edouard Mendy. And Chelsea fans will always love you, Edouard Mendy. Thank you so much, bro. And you have been an absolute fantastic player for us. A really, really good guy. A guy who cares for Chelsea. Thank you so much, mate. And I think Edouard Mendy has been a player that's not got his respect. A very, very good player. A player who deserves more respect. And Keshav is spot on here. Mendy's injury decline is confidence. And I think I do agree with that one. But bro, to be really honest, his sweeping keeping was not really good, which was not what we need from modern day goalkeeper. And I think it was before injury as well, bro. He just really vanished away from his form. But overall, we'll always respect him and thank you, Edouard Mendy, for the player you have been. We'll always have respect and admiration for Edouard Mendy. This brings me to Kai Havertz and Kesha, bro. Now it's time for another Arsenal section. Kai Havertz has joined Arsenal Football Club on a permanent deal. So I think it's done, it's dusted. But I just want to have a bit of chat. First of all, I think Arsenal need to find the person responsible who has leaked the announcement video before it was announced. How can it happen that Twitter already has an announcement video for Havertz before the guy's name has been announced? So I think a bit of investigation will have to happen in that regards. But overall, Kai, I will just say one thing, and Keshav agrees as well, but I will say just one thing to be really, really honest with Kai Havertz. I think there's really too much anger from both the fan bases, from Chelsea, from Arsenal. Chelsea fans are divided. Oh, we should not have sold a player to a rival. Oh, Kai Havertz has been bad for us. I'm having party, he's leaving. Arsenal fans, on the other hand, he's the next Burkham. Arsenal fans, on the other hand, nah, he's bad. So I think both the fans are not getting onto a bit of stalemate, and which is you've got a versatile player who can really improve. For Chelsea, it was good to let him go. Why? Because first, we're getting 65 million. Number second, Kai Havertz is a player who in 3 years at Chelsea has just not worked. And sometimes in life, two things are not working and you just have to separate each other. And Kai Havertz and Chelsea were the ones. Kai Havertz and Chelsea. Now, Kesha bro, nah, man, that's too much, bro. But respective for that. But overall, I will say just one thing. I think the problem with Kai Havertz and Chelsea has been that I think we two are not made for each other. And sometimes when you two are not made for each other, you're only causing problems. It's only better to separate. And that's been the problem with Kai Havertz at Chelsea. He scored the Champions League goal. He has been important for us in the big games, whether the goal against Liverpool, whether some important goals. But overall, Kai Havertz has not been really great for Chelsea. And that has been the problem. He has not been putting his first position. He's not been putting his final position in the team. Nobody knows where he plays. Left wing. Oh, right wing. Oh, striker. Oh, number 8. Oh, midfielder. Nobody knows. That has been the problem. When he came to Chelsea from Leverkusen, I said, wow. We have signed one of the most talented youngsters in the world. And I'm going to be here and saying Kai Havertz is still very talented. I'm not going to be here. He's going to Arsenal. So I will say, nah, Kai Havertz is shy. Nah, he is a good player. He is a good young player and he still has a talent. But my problem with him has only been mentality. Only problem I've had with Kai Havertz is the mentality and one position he can fix in the Premier League. Now I'm taking a chat and then I'll give my final verdict on Kai Havertz. So people watching, do hit the like and please subscribe if you haven't. It means a lot to me as well. And first signing in the month of June since 2019, Mason Mount. Big up Danish bhai. So good to see you in the chat bhai. And congrats for Mason Mount. He will be a good player for you bhai. But really, on the banter note, thank you for the 55 million. We'll get Caicedo, but to be really honest, banter, he's a very good signing for you, mate. Very, very good signing. And I think he'll do a good job there. And I think we can also move forward as well. And this will bring me to Kai Havertz. I think Arsenal have got a very good versatile players on their hand. A player that can sometimes replace Bukayo Saka. A player that can sometimes play instead of Jesus and play much better than Nketiah. A player that can sometimes replace Odegaard when he's tired. A player who is way better than Fabio Vieira, no disrespect. And a player where Arteta can go with a plan B. Where he can play a formation of 4-3-3 in a low block team, playing Odegaard and Havertz to break a low block team. Let's say Arsenal playing Luton Town, so they play Rice and they play Odegaard and Havertz. In some games, he does what Pep has done, 3-2-4-1 formation with Rice, Partey, and then Odegaard, Havertz up top. So I think there's a lot of possibility, and this is why he's a good signing for Arsenal, and especially Kai Havertz is a young player who in the future can be sold as well. So I think this is why it's a good deal for Arsenal. And now, why it's a good deal for Chelsea, he is not a Kevin De Bruyne Lukaku situation. He has been here for 3.5 years. He has not put in consistent performances. So I think we get 65 million. We already have replaced him by Nkunku. We use his money to get a goalkeeper. We use his money to get a Caicedo. And I think we move on. Sometimes in life it's important both the sides are satisfied. We have got 65 million. We move on. We have more pressing concerns, that is goalkeeper, a midfielder. So I think we move on. We have Nkunku. And for Arsenal, They need a versatile player and they're signing for 65 million. A good deal overall for both parties. Chelsea right now are in upper position, but Kai Havertz can still become a great talent, which was hidden between him at Chelsea. So who knows in that regards. And before going on to the next news, people, taking some chats, and overpaying is a USP. I do agree with that one, bro, but it's been because of Glazers and the disastrous management of Manchester United. And when Sheikh Jassim takes over, when he does that, you're going to see a better Manchester United because Glazers have destroyed this club, to be really honest. But also, Danish Bhai, when you're the most successful club in the world, people will try to take more money from you. And we are also in your category. We have paid 100 million for Lukaku, 80 for Morata. So United, Chelsea are very good in this department. The only thing is we can sell our players to really hide our face in the market, while United can't do that because the sales have not been good. And Sheikh Jassim just made a big first signing. Big up. Thank you so much to join, mate. And overall, it does look like a bit of, like, not a Sheikh Jassim signing, but I think it's a Ten Hag signing. And once Sheikh Jassim comes, clears the tip, man, it's going to be scary. It's going to be scary. And it's going to be scary for me. It's going to be scary for all the rival fans. And United fans are in for a treat. And if these guys get the right management, if they get the right players, nah, man, that's going to be scary. That's going to be really scary. And now going on to the next news, people. Please, people watching, man, it doesn't take much, guys. I'm seeing nobody's liking. Do like, man. And please subscribe if you haven't. And that brings me to the next news now. Liverpool have opened talks to sign Romeo Lavia. Chelsea are not active or close on this deal. So this is a thing that's been moving on, that Chelsea right now are not really close to signing this deal. But will they do it in future? I really don't know. But he is a player who Arsenal have been heavily linked. But since they've gone for Declan Rice, they have been moved away from Lavia. Like, my opinion on Lavia, first of all, as a player, I watched a bit of Southampton last year. And this is a stupendous young player. He's a very, very good young player who fits like a glove to Chelsea, who fits like a glove to Liverpool. And I think he can be a good backup to Partey in the future. And when Partey is not good enough, he replaces Partey. Lavia is a very good player for all the clubs, and 40 million for me should be a no-brainer. The guy is really good. I'm not even lying. Lavia is a fantastic young centre-back. Midfielder. I'm so sorry. He's a fantastic young midfielder. But now, especially for Liverpool, he becomes the most important piece. Liverpool have been struggling for a long time now. Long time. Fabinho looks like he's declined. Playing so much matches, so much pressing has got to him. You go towards Henderson, he has declined. Harvey Elliott for me is not a good enough midfielder. He can be a backup to Salah. Curtis Jones really played at the end of the campaign, but nobody knows this is a solution to the future. Liverpool needs somebody that can play instead of Fabinho, and I think Lavia can be that one. Lavia, Mac Allister, if they get a player like Thuram, I think in the future Liverpool will build a good midfield that again will replicate the heights of Fabinho, Henderson, Wijnaldum, and that is what they need to do. And Lavia will be a very important signing for Liverpool, and that increases the midfield next year. It improves the midfield, and we all know how much Jurgen Klopp loves to work with young midfielders. And even if Liverpool don't challenge for the league next season, Lavia, Mac Allister, Thuram, one season under Jurgen Klopp, they learn, they understand his tactics, and next season, more experienced, young players with energy, they respond, and Liverpool might go on to win the league after this season. So I think this is why it makes a lot of sense for Liverpool. I'm a bit surprised Chelsea have not gone in this deal. I'm very, very surprised. But once June 30 is over, we might see Chelsea's name in it, because he makes a lot of sense to Chelsea as well. We only have right now Enzo, Caicedo, Chukwuemeka is more attacking midfielder, more like Andre Santos and Caicedo. But the problem is Caicedo might go on another loan. Nobody knows about that. Andre Santos is still very young. Chukwuemeka is more attacking. So I think we need one more midfielder for the future. And if we play a 4-2-3-1 formation, I think Nkunku and Chukwuemeka for the number 10. You have Enzo, Caicedo, Lavia, and Santos for the two positions. I think Chelsea can be set for next season. And I think Lavia can be a future player along with Enzo, Caicedo, and a midfield can be sorted for so many years. So I think we should be all over this deal. Arsenal should be all over this deal, because let's say Xhaka leaves, they get Rice, they get one more player in Lavia, and the midfield is literally unbreakable, not just present, but for the future with Rice and Lavia, two very young guys, and Jorginho, Partey, two very experienced guys. And for Liverpool, it makes the most sense because it straight away goes in the starting 11. Taking a bit of charge before going to the next news here, and West Ham What Nuno Tavares asked should demand 50 million paid in one day. That is not going to happen. But people, for information, West Ham also trying to sign Denis Zakaria from who was our former player. So I think he can do a good job there. And Palhinha is another player West Ham are after, but Fulham are demanding 90 million. And West Ham will now see how it feels to be demanding more money in the market. I think Keshav, they've rinsed Arsenal. They're going to be rinsed in the market because when they go for negotiating, all the clubs are going to ask, you got 105 for Arsenal? Give me a bit of that. Give me a bit of that. So I think West Ham will have to face it, and that will be beautiful. And I think I deserve it. And going on to the next one now, that is Romelu Lukaku and the disaster this guy is giving me, the Chelsea fans, and one of the most unprofessional footballers I've ever seen in my life. One of the most unserious footballers I've ever seen in my life. I only have good hopes on my channel for players. I still will always wish Romelu the best for his future and the best for him. But this guy has treated Chelsea very badly. He has been an embarrassment as a professional, and he needs to have some decency in him, which I know he hasn't got. The problem with Romelu Lukaku has been that he thinks he's the boss and he can do what he wants. But the guy has forgotten Chelsea are his employers. We are the guys that control him, and he needs to understand that. From here, you can see Inter Milan has always, the guys take 100 million from us for this player, but they can't even pay a penny for him. Every time it's loan. Stop it. Stop this nonsense. And Chelsea need to be strong. As you can see in the news by Di Marzio, who is very reliable when it comes to Italian news, Inter Milan are planning this offer to Chelsea, Romelu Lukaku on loan with an obligation, but in 25 million payable over several years. We must reject it. We want 25 million in hand straight away, not this pitchy pokey which Inter Milan keep on doing. They wanted Koulibaly on loan. They want Lukaku on loan, a player they sold us for 100 million. It's time to show who is the boss. We have been rinsed heavily, but you cannot rinse us anymore. Romelu Lukaku, if he forces his way to Inter Milan, even if Inter Milan are not ready to pay the money, get this guy to Kohabam, put him with the under-19s and embarrass him in front of the world. Absolutely embarrass him. Or else, tell him to go to Inter Milan, pay us the 25 million or loan with an obligation to buy in one installment, and then yes, he can just get rid of here, because this guy has been the ultimate example of how not to be a professional and how not to handle yourself when you're employed by a club. This guy is the person you should never follow in your life when you want to become successful in your life, because he has been an embarrassment. He is a successful footballer. He has worked hard from where he has become to here. I have so much respect for him, and God bless him, and hopefully I wish the best for Romelu. But overall, the way he has treated Chelsea, his boyhood club, the way he has treated us overall has been an embarrassment, and he needs to be handled well by Chelsea. And ab loan mat dena, fully agreed. Chelsea must not loan him now. It's time to show who is the boss. We are Chelsea. We've employed you. We pay your wages. You better turn up in pre-season, or you better demand Inter Milan to pay our money, or you play with the under-19s. And that is the way we need to handle this guy, because this guy has been an embarrassment. From a player that from lower to become such a top player, from such position he became such a successful person. For him to be handling the way he has done this situation has been an embarrassment. I thought Romelu, with the applause he got at Emirates when he scored the goal, he will have an emotion connection to Chelsea. He doesn't have one bit of it. Inter Milan fans also don't love him. They really don't even like him, to be honest. Most of them won't even want him. But still, this guy has got some love with Inter, and he can just go from nowhere. I don't want to use abuse or swearing. Just get out of here, man. Best of luck. May God bless you. And hopefully you learn to respect your employers. And now, I go to the next news. This is talks between Chelsea and AC Milan for Pulisic. Chelsea want 21 million. Milan want to pay less than that. This is by Fabrizio Romano. Now, Chelsea and AC Milan have very good working relationships. Loftus has gone to Milan. Chelsea are linked with Maignan. They're also linked to buy a lot of our players. Giroud went to AC Milan as well. And I will say just one thing overall, that I think we are in right to demand this money, and we need to be strong. I don't know why Italian clubs demand the most for their players. AC Milan demanding 70 million for Maignan, but they can't even dish out 20 million for Pulisic. I think we need to be strong with these Italian clubs. Pulisic is a player that's very marketable. Pulisic is a player that's really valued around the world. For me, I know people are going to bash me for this, but I will love to keep Pulisic in Pochettino's system. but I know he wants to play regularly. I know it's time up. So I think if Pulisic goes, we need to get the best out of him. He's a superstar in America. He's one of the highest regarded young players in the world. He can get good money for it and not 15-14 million. I think we can get more clubs instead of AC Milan. We can get minimum to minimum 24 to 30 million for him. We need to be strong to deal with Italian clubs. It's not just about clear out, clear out, clear out, take a player, give us anything. Saudis have given us a lot of money already for a deadwood. So now it's time to be strong and get the best possible money for Pulisic. I will hope he stays here. He's a very good player who can do well in Pochettino's system. And I think he can really play number 10 role well under Pochettino's system. But being very honest, he doesn't want to stay here. He wants to play regularly. He has been an inconsistent player and a bit of injury-prone player for Chelsea. And I think it's better we both move on. So thank you, Christian. And hopefully we get the best money out of him. And this takes me to the next news. And this is regarding Angelo to Chelsea. Is here we go. He will start pre-season with Chelsea and then possible loan. He is another young guy we have signed. A really, really talented young guy we have signed. And big up to Poetic Scales. People, do go to Poetic Scales. Easy to remember. Go there and subscribe to his channels. Fantastic channel with great tactical analysis. So do that. And big up to you, mate. Any updates beside Caicedo? Any new midfielder? I think it's really died down Poetic Scales for me because we were linked with Lavia. We were heavily linked with more midfielders. But it really just went away. Vega is the only midfielder, bro, we are linked with. But Vega, for me, cannot play in a pivot. So I think I really don't know what's going on. But, bro, I think once the sales of Mount Havertz have happened and Loftus Cheek, I think we'll go full in for Lavia or another midfielder. And I think we see more updates regarding a midfielder in July. I think once we have sorted our books out, I think Chelsea will go full in, absolutely full in for a midfielder in the market in July and August. July. I think we won't leave it late till August because Pochettino pre-season this time is very important. If we want to have a good season, we need to sign up players early and give them to Pochettino to develop them in the pre-season, get them fit, and get them understanding the style and unity among the team. Thanks, man. Can we collab? Let's pick a try. Absolutely, bro. Like, you can contact me on WhatsApp. You can contact me on Twitter. I have Shrey765 on Twitter, bro. So do follow me on Twitter and we'll absolutely have a collab, bro. I love it and I will love it to be there with you, bro. So big up to you as well, bro. And do follow me on Shrey765 Twitter because I don't use Insta much and WhatsApp as well. I remember we are in the same group as well, so you'll know. And going on to the next news now, guys. The next news now is regarding UEFA and changing a rule because of Chelsea. UEFA are set to close a loophole tomorrow, allowing clubs to spread the cost of big transfer fee over lengthy contracts. It is expected that there will be no limit on the length of the contract, but the cost of any transfer fee will now have to be spread over maximum 5 years. We all knew Chelsea was smart and Todd Bowley deserves his applause. Todd Bowley deserves his applause for the way he has handled these things. He was named as a person who doesn't know what he's doing, who doesn't know what he's understanding. And I think this was what people were thinking. A bit of video for people who were thinking Todd Bowley is an idiot. A bit of video for people who thought Todd Bowley was an idiot. This is for you, Gary Neville. This is for people who had no respect for this guy. This guy is a genius. Yes, he has made mistakes, but this guy, in terms of selling players, is a genius. You know that we signed players on amortized contract. People were thinking, oh my God, how are Chelsea spending 600 million? Have them investigated, put 115 charges on them, wrap Chelsea up. But Chelsea were amortizing those costs. We signed Enzo for 120, but the cost has been divided up to 5 or 6 years. We signed Mudryk, but the cost has been divided to 4 or 5 years. We have been smart, where we haven't spent 600 million straight away. It's like 20-30 million a year, 20-30 million a year per player. That's the way we have done, and Todd Bowley deserves his respect. But now, since many clubs have got angry, nobody had the understanding of this loophole. Now UEFA put a rule where you can give a player an 8-year contract, but you cannot amortize their transfer cost over 8 years. So big up Todd Bowley. He found this loophole and he has used it to perfection. Absolutely, bro. We'd love to have a collab with you, bro. And coming on to the next one, Chelsea are considering a move for Maignan, despite Mauricio Pochettino's willingness to start the season with Kepa as number 1. And this has caused an absolute uproar in the Chelsea fan base. An absolute uproar. Many people are saying, red flag, Pochettino, red flag, Pochettino out, Pochettino out. Many people have already started that. I saw on Twitter, many people have already started that, and that is idiotic. I will call it out. That is idiotic. Let's back the manager and then call him out. Let at least back him. And again, I will say, Pochettino wants keeper. Pochettino 100% wants keeper. But I think if it comes at the cost of a midfielder, he won't want that. I will ask people one thing. Do you need another midfielder, or do you need a striker, or do you need a keeper? If Chelsea sign Lavia and we sign Onana, will you prefer it, or will you prefer, you will say more like Onana, or you can say more like Onana and Lavia, or you will prefer some other signing? Just tell me. Chelsea are in for a goalkeeper. Chelsea 100% want a goalkeeper. But AC Milan are demanding for 70 for Maignan. Onana, I think he rejected us and he prefers Manchester United. This is a problem we are in right now. If I ask you, we sign Onana for 70 million, or I ask you, we sign Lavia for 35 million, we sign Gabriel Vega for 35 million, my preference will be Lavia and Vega, because we struggle for goals, we struggle for creativity, and we struggle for midfielders. I will prefer that. We need to understand where Chelsea are right now. Pochettino knows we need a new goalkeeper. He is not idiotic. He knows that. But we still don't have a striker in this team. Nicholas Jackson is young. We still don't have a midfielder bar Enzo right now. Caicedo still hasn't been signed. So we need to be realistic. Goalkeeper right now is the least of our issues. Kepa overall is not good enough goalkeeper for a top 4 team. Kepa is very good with his feet, but is still very weak on shot stopping. He had so many great games last season, but he also had so many howlers, but he still had a decent season. He's still not one of the concerns. Kante has gone, Kova has gone, Mount has gone, Havertz has gone, Ziyech has gone. We have more concerns in the attacking and midfield department, and that has to be addressed more quickly in comparison to a goalkeeper. So I think we are in for a goalkeeper, but it will depend on a price. And Mike Maignan for 80-85 million, for me, we will be idiots to pay it. I will love it, but it's just too much payment for a goalkeeper, being very honest, people. And I think we need to take our time and find the right goalkeeper, especially we have a young guy in Slovenia as well. So I think we need to be very careful, and we need to be careful the way we plan. And on this, Kepa is on a 200k wages. You cannot have 2 goalkeepers earning 200k wages, and 2 keepers from whom will be sitting one on the bench, and they will be earning 250k as well. And that takes me to the next one. Mauricio Pochettino likes Frank Casey. He is on Chelsea's midfield list. Now, Darren Bhai was asking me earlier in the video, will I love to have Frank Casey? Absolutely, I will love to have Frank Casey. I think Frank Casey is an important player in what he can provide to our system. I think Pochettino wants to play football, but I think it will be high-pressing football with high energy, and also in transitions, the midfielder's role will be very important. In his Tottenham days, if you remember his midfield, it used to be Dyer, it used to be Wanyama, it used to be Musa Dembele. Musa Dembele was one of the most underrated midfielder in the league at that time. Eric Dyer used to do the DM role, and Wanyama used to be an underrated player who used to go in the box, make runs, and also be defensively solid. With Enzo and Caicedo, we still need one more, and Frank Kise is more experienced than Lavia, and Frank Kise really fits like a glove. You can play Enzo Caicedo, Enzo Frank Kise. Sometimes you can even play Frank Kise as a DM with Enzo Caicedo, playing more box to box, and I think it makes a lot of sense with the high energy, high pressing football Chelsea are going to play. Frank Kise is a more experienced option than Romeo Lavia. He's a player who is more aware about his surrounding, more experienced, and I think this could be a very good signing in the system Pochettino wants to play, which is more like a 4-2-3-1 or a 4-3-3. I think this is a very good signing, but he also prefers Saudi, or he still wants to stay at Barca as well. So I think he's caught in between. So it could be interesting whether he wants to come to Chelsea or not. Going on to the next one, that is Al Ali plans to make Kise an offer, as I told you earlier in the video. Kise doesn't want to leave, but Barca can raise money with his sales, and Barca have to sell players this window. With the departure of Kovacic, as I told you in the video where we need a player like Kise, Pochettino believes Kise could adapt well to the midfield and can provide something Chelsea midfield doesn't have right now. Caicedo brings us a tenacity, aggression, important tackles, and versatility. Enzo brings us a more like creativity. Caicedo also does that, but Enzo does it in much better way. And Kise brings us ball carrying, more defensive awareness, and there's more balance to the midfield now for Chelsea. And this is why Kise is more of a signing I want than Lavia. But I think Lavia is more possible, and Lavia is more young. and I will love either one of them. But Chelsea need to sign one more midfielder along with your Enzo and Caicedo. We need one more midfielder. Even if Santos and Caicedo are there, we need one more midfielder. And Chelsea are making progress on Caicedo. 80 million could be enough, and I think we need to get it started quickly. I think it's getting a lot of time now is going on. Pre-season is starting on July, I believe, July 3. So I think we need to get it done early. Mount is already done to United. Havertz is done. So many players are left. I think Chelsea need to be quick now, because if United get the ownership through, you never know. Be quick. Get Caicedo in the preseason, and let him have the understanding with Enzo, the manager, and we can really start the preseason on some positivity. So I hope Caicedo is done very quickly. And that brings me to Mason Mount, but that's already been discussed. He has already joined Manchester United, and this brings me to Chelsea are expected to move for Celta Vigo's Gabriel Veiga, who has a 34.6 million release clause if Mason is joins United. The below news is done. Mason Mount has joined Manchester United. Here we go. So that's done. On Gabriel Veiga, guys, I'm not watched much of him. I'm not going to be a tactical here and say, he's a fantastic player. He plays really well. He's a good player. I haven't watched much of him. But as much as I've watched of him, I can tell you one thing. This guy is creatively very, very good. He can bring a lot to a team as well. He's a very, very good player as well. He can be a bit of backup to Nkunku as well. And that is the thing we need right now. And he's a good young prospect as well, who can even play in a 4-3-3 in a more attacking role. So I think he has a lot of creativity in him. He has a lot of talent in him. And I think this is why it won't be the worst signing we make. And that brings me to the last news of today. And that is Chelsea remain open to selling Conor Gallagher, although the incoming manager wants to work with him. Guys, we all know Conor Gallagher is one of the most disliked player in the Chelsea fan base. A lot of people want Conor Gallagher's soul. A lot of people want him straight away to go. I've been a fan on this channel who has said, I respect Conor Gallagher, I love him. I still think his technical ability are not at the level of a top football club. And if we get 50 million, we should sell him. But I've also said that Pochettino will love to work with him, with Mason Mount going. And we should be at least giving Conor Gallagher a chance. For me, the only problem with Conor Gallagher is his technicality. Sometimes his decision to shoot, sometimes his decision to pass. His overall passing sometimes is not at the standard. But what Conor Gallagher brings you is pressing intensity, scoring instinct, long ranges, and a player that will fight for the shirt. I know this is not a good characteristic. People will say, oh, you want a player because he's work hard. But in a Pochettino system, in a high pressing style, we need Conor Gallagher. With Mason Mount going as well, I think it won't be the worst thing in the world to keep Conor Gallagher for a season. His value still won't go down, and give Pochettino the time to develop him. And if he doesn't, we sell him in the future. And I think with Mason Mount going, and if Chelsea don't sign Gabriel Veiga, I think there's a massive chance with Conor Gallagher staying. But if we sign Gabriel Veiga, we already have a Chukwuemeka. I think then he just might be going. Overall, I'll repeat again, his technicality are a bit of issue for me, but I will always admire Conor Gallagher. And if we get a 55-60 million offer, we should sell him. But if you get a 33-36 million offer, rather than going for Veiga, we must keep him and go fully for a goalkeeper and a midfielder. And that brings the video to the end, people. On a final note, I'll just say, people who have watched, thank you so much. Do hit the like button and please subscribe if you haven't. I've discussed Havertz joining to Arsenal. Is it a good move for Arsenal? I've discussed on Mason Mount going to Manchester United. Is it a good move for both parties? I've discussed on Edouard Mendy, Kovacic. I've discussed on a lot of transfer news regarding Chelsea, Caicedo, Lavia to Liverpool, and a lot more stuff today. Please, people who have joined right now, do watch it in back. And people who are watching right now, please hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel. Some more content is coming. And please support the channel. Thank you all. I hope you all have a great day ahead. Thank you, everyone. Bless you all.